Mayor of the City of Valparaiso. Sir, I request a relaxation of the 3 minutes for the presentation from the City of Valparaiso. We had 4,000-page document to review, and you're asking for our comments on a technical piece of work in a matter of 3 minutes. That's not very possible, especially with the many impacts that Valparaiso experiences.
Mayor, I will certainly give you a little bit of additional time. Please remember we did have 22 people who would like to speak, and we will certainly allow you the opportunity to finish your comments if you're not able to do so all the time.
But I'll speak for the 3 minutes, and our city clerk, Mrs. Johnson, will give the rest of my address. Consistent with the original final EIS impact study, the preferred alternative outlined in the supplemental environmental impact study places the health, safety, and welfare of a large portion of the City of Valparaiso in direct conflict with the stated mission of Eglin Air Force Base. This alternative is not an acceptable option to the city and its residents. The greatest amount of harm that the Air Force can possibly inflict on our community, our goal has always been to cooperate and support the missions at Eglin. In return, our patriotism and our commitment to that cause have been questioned by our sister cities, our county leadership, and every local elected state and federal official. The truth is the City of Valparaiso is not the problem. Our quest to live in peace and harmony with the Air Force has been met at every juncture with betrayal and abandonment. We are the victims of believing that harmony amongst the Air Force and the city is ultimately the outcome of a war working together to formulate a mutually satisfying solution. It is the Air Force that continually ignores the rights of our citizens to live free of ever-increasing impacts to their future. This is evidenced from the very beginning by the NEPA process. The NEPA process consists of the evaluation of the environmental effects of a federally undertaking, including its alternatives. Obviously, the determination of the environmental consequences of the proposed Eglin mission is so significant to the City of Valparaiso as to require not only the participation of an EIS, but a supplemental EIS as well. The supplemental EIS document is prepared over a period of many months, consists of many thousands of pages of text, tables, figures, and the like, costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and is presented in draft format for public comment. A better approach, and one that is included in the federal law, would be for us to have public input as part of the detailed evaluation of the proposed action and the alternatives as this EIS is conducted. The reality of the situation as we are delivered in a very technical 4,000-page draft document, given 3 weeks to digest the material and prepare public comment on criteria that for the most part is not well understood. In reviewing this EIS document, not one sentence exists that spells out the issue of encroachment. This is because encroachment is a double-edged sword, and one the Air Force chooses to ignore. Most military bases can claim their operations are impacted by development in close proximity to a pre-existing military operation. We challenge you or anyone to make the claim that the City of Valparaiso has encroached on Eglin Air Force Base in any manner, shape, or form. Our geographical boundaries were well established in 1921, long before Eglin had presence in our community. Over the years, Eglin has accumulated 87.5% of our city limits into federally owned land, leaving us with what was and still remains a predominantly residential area without large-scale commercial development. Not once has the City of Valparaiso complained about this encroachment until the development of the F-35, where now we are threatened with losing a major portion of our city to sound levels that cannot be mitigated. Consider the expected impact from the preferred alternative. 1A of the City of Valparaiso per table, ES 17 to page ES 26, which summarizes the off-base installation population exposed to noise. 1,444 individuals will reside in an area that has noise levels greater than 75 dB. The vast majority of these people live within the confines of the City of Valparaiso, requiring them to vacate their homes because sound levels above 75 dB cannot be remediated. One-fourth of our population will have to vacate their property, as it will only be suitable for parking lots, mining, and agricultural uses. Further, the SCI clearly spells out that Eglin can only remediate those structures that are on base, and that no funding has been provided for mitigating the homes that the other 840 people in our city reside, that are in the 65 to 75 dB noise range, which will require between $40,000 and $50,000 to soundproof homes. Thus, we are left with a document that negatively impacts half our municipal population with no federal government responsibility for takings due to encroachment Eglin refuses to curtail. My previous words do not include the impacts due to our public facilities, churches and schools. Several citations in the SCIS make reference to outdoor doors and flight operations being mitigated only through operational changes. Surely, it is not the intention of the Air Force to have all of our children stay indoors, locked into little prison cells they call home. According to the Air Force, children are more sensitive to more environmental impacts than the adult population. Activities occur near areas that tend to have higher concentration of children than typical residential areas, such as schools, parks, child care facilities. They further intensify potential impact on children. The Air Force has further advised that children are at a greater risk of hearing loss than adults. Again, no mention of monetary or appropriation sources is identified for corrective actions. Today we are determining noise levels and a potential impact on a set of parameters that may be understated. According to Plotkin and Schultz of Wiley Laboratories, in an article entitled Development of Advanced Acoustic Model for Military Aircraft Noise in 2007, the difference between the predicted and measured sound level can be as much as 20 dB. Just a fraction of this statement proves to be true. The entire city of Valparaiso may have to be abandoned. We do know for certain that with each generation of aircraft, there has been a substantial dB increase in now sound exposure levels. Eglin has been at the forefront of these cutting-edge technologies in aircraft development, with a total disregard for the future impacts to surrounding communities. Years of planning new air installations that would have had no impact on any off-base population may have gone without consideration. We think the only reasonable conclusion to be drawn is the Air Force is not accepting responsibility for seriously considering a relatively peaceful and compatible existence with the city of Valparaiso. Therefore, that is an exhaustive list of reasons I have mentioned before, lead us to recommend and request that the Air Force adopt alternative 2A as the preferred method for Eglin's stated mission. First and most obvious is the reduction of the impact to our residential population exposed to noise of greater than 75 dB by more than 87.5% to 194 individuals. We believe these numbers in the document were incorrect. Equally promising that our future contour level, is not a single person is impacted around the drop-off fields.